Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I'm up again with some more of my bitty bobs. So today I've got something new. I'm just going to grab it. I have got a 7-piece tool set that I treated myself to, because my alignment of stuff sometimes can be utterly diabolical. Yes, it can be a bit wonky. So right at the end I'm going to show you how to use those, and we'll have a better close-up of them. But first, yes, I use this die from my haul, and with this one, which I've turned into a little ugly sweater, we're going to turn that into a hidden paper clip. I've also used this one, and we're going to use that with the alignment rulers after, and I'm going to share that with you now. I've got it on a scrap piece of paper so I can hold it up, and you can see it's really fine lettering. You can pop the pieces back in and you've got those gorgeous little eyelets at the top. Now I actually used a candy cane type paper. Whether I should or not, I don't know, but it was just a quick, a cutout of my bitty bobs. Right, so this set and a hidden paper clip. So first up I did the little cardigan, and I really do hope my camera's, should we end the week the way we began it? Totally confused. Yeah. Woo. There we go. I just used watercolour and a little bit of distress ink around the edges when I'd finished. I'm going to play with my camera. Never a wise thing when you're actually filming. I did the little coat, which is just so sweet. Absolutely love it. I mean, that on a plain white card with just a Noel or something sentiment, and that's all you need, and a couple of little water drops or something, or snowflakes. The little hat. Oh, love it. I've got little gloves that kind of go with the hat, and you've got all that lovely detail in there. Oh, I really do hope you can see. I learnt a new word yesterday, thank you. Geotag. Yeah, let's get that right. I might put that on a note and stick it on my wall in front of me. That's what those pointy doodahs are, so that you know where you are. And if anyone knows where I am, please let me know. Because most of the time I'm sure I don't. And this is one I turned into an ugly sweater. Now I think I used red because I was thinking strawberries. That's what I was thinking, because of the little embossed little pit marks in that. And I used the snowflake stamp that came in that gorgeous set from Panalisa. Oh, let's get there. A couple of weeks ago. There we are. So even though I've got a little bit of watercolour, sort of bleeding into other watercolour, that doesn't bother me. Because, using watercolour, sometimes you just have to embrace the fact that you can't control it. And I just love it like that. So that's my little ugly sweater. And we're going to turn that into a hidden paper clip. Right, to do a hidden paper clip, you measure the length of your object and the width of your object. Now, when I say the width, forget about the arms, because we're talking hidden here. So the width of the body, and if you can get it a little bit smaller, then all the better, because hidden. So we've gone 4 times the length, and if I need to trim or fold I will do, and we're keeping it within. So I think I'm at 3/4 of an inch here, which can go, if I put that there, up to the shoulders. See that? It would be hidden from behind. And then the length of this is 8 inches, which is 4 times the length of that, and then I've added 1/2 inch, of which I can trim or fold or whatever I want to do. And this is how easy it is to make a hidden paper clip. So once you've done your measurements of your object, cut your strip and fold it in half. Take your paper clip and pop it on top. Make sure you've got it in the center so that you can apply your glue around the edges. Now the reason you make it longer is because you want to be able to hide the top of your paper clip So if I fold that up, you can see that there is plenty there to come down over the top. So with this one, I'm just going to measure it the same way. There we go. Tucked into the bottom of your paper clip again, if you look through there. And I am going to trim this bit off. So as soon as I find my scissors, yeah. So I'm looking at where I am, and I am going straight the way across there. So now all I have to do is put some glue obviously on the inside and fold that bit over, and you can see the paper clip is now hidden. If you need to slow this down to look at it, then you know, feel free to do that. So now that I've got all that, all I need is some glue. I've took my lovely flowery top off there, and I'm just going around the edges. And I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to try and be straight. Do you know it's 78% humidity, and our air quality at the moment is being considered 40%. My glue is actually drying on the tip at the moment, so I'm going to have to clear that out in a minute. And then glue your other side. Now this bit here requires some glue, so I'm just going to, because you don't want your paper clip coming out when you start using it. And then as we folded it, so that's all hidden in there. Right, I'm just going to pop this back on my glue bottle in case I start drying out. So we now have our hidden paper clip. Now I'm hoping it fits. Now you can do it so that this piece here isn't showing, but that doesn't bother me. It just gives me more stability on my objects. That's the way I look at it. And you can always add a little bit of washi tape or something if it offends you. So I've got some glue there. Now I'm going to pop my little sweater on. Make sure I've got it straight. I'm squeezing my particular parts together so that they get stuck down. And I'll come back in a second when that's dried, so you're not sitting there staring at drying glue. Right, so this is dry, and you can make these in any size that you want to. If you've got teeny tiny paper clips, you can make really small ones. You could even fit one of those tiny Tim Holtz type paper clips underneath a mitten and just have that one clipped on, and you know, that one dangling in the air. You could do it with a hat. You can make hidden paper clips on anything. So that is what the back looks like, and it is now dry, and this is what it will do. You just take your page or whatever it is that you want on there, and you've got a paper clip. That's what it looks like on the back. You could take a piece of washi or pattern paper, or if you wanted to cut and colour another sweater so it matches on the other side of your page, then you can do that by gluing it on before you finish. But yeah, that's it. That is a hidden paper clip. Real simple, real easy, and great fun. So you know, you can make lots of these. Just get different size strips of paper, different size paper clips, make yourself a bundle. When you're ready to make a paper clip, just find whatever little die cut or stamp you've cut out that fits onto what you've made, and then you've got something that will just go straight onto your page. Right, I am now going to pause and make you even more confused and bring in those rulers. Right, so here they are, and there are 7 of them. And I'm going to bring in a sheet of black cardstock so that you can hopefully see better. So we start at the 3/4 of an inch, and it's all marked out, and I can tell you, I'm just grabbing my ruler, these measurements are absolutely spot on. So if I take my ruler, I hope I'm in the right place here. I think we're at are we at centimetres and inches? I think we might be. This is 3/4 of an inch, and if you look at that, you can see it's absolutely spot on. 3/4, I'll get it measurement there, 3/4 of an inch. That is the width of this. And then you've got other measurements which I believe is centimetres. Let's go, oh, get my ruler the right way around. There you go, there's your centimetres, and these are also centimetres, and you've got your millimetre gaps in between. So your, what's the word I'm looking for, imperial and metric on all of them. So if you want a 3/4 of an inch border on what you're doing, then you'd pick this up, and it scales down 5/8 of an inch, half an inch, 3/8, 5/16. I can't see that one, so let's put that one on there. That's a 1/4 of an inch. I mean, that one's me, so I'm just going to pull that one out of the pile, because most things I do go in 1/4 of an inch increments. But one of the other important things that you need to know about this set of measurers, if you're into your jelly plate and you're somebody who likes to get precise placement of your stencils or your stamps or anything that you're using, because you're trying to make a card or you want to do a framed picture, and you don't want, you know, if you've stamped a vase of flowers onto your plate, you don't want it like that. You want it vertical. So you can take 2 of these, just like that, a piece of double-sided tape on the reverse, which is going to peel off very easily, and you can bond 2 together, pop your jelly plate here, and then every time you want to stamp something or put a sheet of paper down, this is going to be fastened, and that will just slot to there. Every time you put your piece of paper down, you slot to there, then you rub, then you lift off. So 2 together and you'll be able to do your jelly plate. Now I did do letters, so if I get those, another reason for this, turn it that way around, line it up on the edge of your cardstock. Just imagine that's the length of border that you want, 3/4 of an inch, and you want to put initials down. Let's just go for A and S. There you go, there's your A and there's your S. So your letters are perfectly lined up. You can just go in a lovely straight line, no worries about that. But going back to that 1/4 of an inch and how I like to do my borders, I'm always a bit wobbly. I have to stand up and look over the camera so that I can, you know, just eyeball it. And when you eyeball it, it can look nice, but it's not straight. And that's the truth. So this will go to the edge of your paper. All you have to do is line it up on your cardstock. I'm just going to get to my corner there. Now if you've got a stamp platform and you want to slot this in so that you've got something that isn't going to slide, and actually I'll pause and I'll show that to you too. Right, here we go. I'm going to use my mini scoreboard because I had it on hand from the other day. So I can just put my cardstock in there, which is butted up. I can take my 1/4 inch measurer, and it's not going to go anywhere. So, you know, score tool or your stamp platform. And then I've got a piece of black cardstock. Now normally I would have to worry about that being all wibbly wobbly, but look, can you see that? So 1/4 of an inch, make sure I'm getting it right now, 1/4 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Now I've got the wrong measurer out, haven't I? Yeah, I have. I've got my wrong measuring tool out. Hang on a second. I believe that's it. Let me measure that. I probably cut the wrong piece of paper or picked the wrong piece of paper up. Yeah, that is 1/4 of an inch, but that one isn't. Let me have a look, because I like to get things right. Yeah, this one is 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's correct. So what I've done is, I think I've gone and done an 1/8. Let me go and recut this sheet of paper and I'll be right back. Right, so I went and recut my cardstock, and I've decided I'm going with 3/16 of an inch because it's a nice fine and not so easy line to get straight. So there's my white cardstock. Here's my 3/16 of an inch guide. Now I'm going to trust it. I've got my clue. I've got my black cardstock. So if I'm going to make a disaster, we're going to do it together. And while I'm talking and doing stuff, I do hope everyone is going to have a wonderful weekend. Now, I do believe I am up to my guide. I didn't do that right, did I? No, I've miscut my white cardstock. Now I'm going to have to pause and go away and do it all over again. I do apologise. I'll be right back. Right, I went away and scratched my head and my paper measurements were all wrong. So here we go. If I put it on here, you can see the size of my cardstock is, let's get it up there, 4 1/4 inches, right? So I'm making a 4 1/4 inch card. This one is, if I hold my black piece of paper, I hope that you can see that. That is the 1/4 inch rule. That goes there. That can't go anywhere because it's butted up into that corner. Now this sheet of cardstock, if I get my ruler out, is 3 3/4 inches. Right, so let's try for a second time. And this time I think I've got it. My measurements were just totally all over the place, and I have a tonic guillotine and it hasn't cut straight in such a long time. I don't know what's going on with it. Right, everything is tucked up there. I'm going to lay that down there. And I'm going to see what I've got, because if it's uneven, it's my guillotine. See that? I'm even on 2 sides, but this one looks a fraction bigger. That is absolutely my guillotine. But I am happy that it went down straight. So it does work for getting it straight, but I think I just need a new guillotine. I mean, once upon a time I put too many sheets of paper in. I mean, that's even wobbly, that white cut line. I'm going to go and trim that and be back. Right, so I went away and I cut it and I'm happy now. And you can see that there is a 1/4 of an inch. Go around that side. I've got a 1/4 of an inch. And I have a 1/4 of an inch. Slot that down, there you go. It's hard to do it and I'm holding it up in front of the camera. So there's a 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. I do apologise for any confusion, but I will be using these a lot in the coming weeks to line up my cards, and so any other questions that you've got for them, I'll be able to do that then. But my guillotine, as I say, it no longer cuts a direct straight line. It kind of like goes a curve, and I think it's because you know, as I say, once upon a time I put a huge stack of paper in to do a mini journal, and I think I just tried to cut too much and made it a little bit wonky. So in the future I think I'm going to need a new guillotine, but they're so expensive that one's just going to have to wait for a little bit. But grabbing my other stuff, because this is what we did today, and the secret little paper clip, I can pop that onto there. We've got the little cardie, the little hats, the mitts, and the coat. Now from my personal haul, I've still got 2 items left, which are the spring and the Christmas tags. So I will come up and we'll watercolour those on Monday. But once again, you know, we end the week as we started, with total confusion, which is wonderful. Yeah. So have an absolutely awesome weekend, and as usual, all links below. Bye.